Welcome back to Psychology 650. The purpose of this video is to take a look at the individual paper on research-based interventions on schizophrenia and dissociative identity disorder paper. In this particular video, we're going to review the assignment process, where to post your paper, the paper objectives, how to turn those objectives into headings, and then conclude with some critical points about all papers. This particular assignment asks you to select one of the schizophrenic or dissociative identity disorders from the University of Phoenix material film list. Again, you're going to be looking at either schizophrenic disorders or dissociative identity disorders, not both. And then prepare a 1,050 to 1,500 word paper that discusses research-based interventions to treat one of the schizophrenic or dissociative identity disorders. And as usual, you'll be posting this through the assignment link. Each objective needs to be turned into a heading, and this is how I would recommend that you do that for this particular assignment. The first objective reads, evaluate 3 peer-reviewed research studies using the University of Phoenix material research analysis. This is how I would turn that into an objective. I would write 3 peer-reviewed research studies on paranoid schizophrenia, for example. You could put 3 peer-reviewed research studies on dissociative identity disorder if that's the way you want to go. Please make sure that you don't put, for example, in here. I just have this in here as a reference for you. Again, level 1 headings are centered on the page, bold, double-spaced, a combination of upper and lower case letters, and you do not use periods. And then I need you to support your logic with 3 separate peer-reviewed references. And as usual, give me a transition sentence that takes me from this particular objective into the next. And the next objective asks you to conceptualize the disorder using the biopsychosocial or distress model. Here's how I would present that particular level 1 heading. The causes of paranoid schizophrenia, for example, according to the biopsychosocial model, for example. So I could also put the causes of dissociative identity disorder according to the distress model. So again, depending on which particular disorder you decide to discuss in your paper. And as always, support your logic with a literary reference, and in this case, make sure you use a literary reference that you have not already used in your paper. And then give me a transition sentence from this objective into the next, which is discuss the treatments or interventions that have been shown to be the most effective for your selective disorder and tell me why. So your level 1 heading in this particular case would read best practices for the treatment of paranoid schizophrenia, for example. It could read best practices for the treatment of dissociative identity disorder, depending again on which one of those you decide to address in your paper. And then give me a literary reference for that particular objective that you have not used already in your paper. All right, so then, again, as with all papers for this course, there are some critical points. Make sure you give me a solid introductory paragraph telling me in 1 or 2 sentences why it's important for me to read this paper, and then tell me what it is you're going to be discussing in the paper, or basically reiterating the objectives. Make sure you address each objective, use headings, use transition sentences, and give me a solid concluding paragraph at the end of your paper. As always, use APA format for in-text references and reference page citations. And please watch spelling, grammar, and punctuation. So then for this particular video, we've taken a look at the assignment process, where to post your paper, the paper objectives, how to turn those objectives into coherent level 1 headings, and we summarize by looking at some critical points. This then concludes the 19th video for this class and represents the last video that we'll have for this particular class. I hope that you have found them to be instructive and helpful. Thank you.